Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mayday Madness. I am Michelle Kinney. You are watching the Mayday Network. And this little fun March Madness thing that we're doing here is brought to you by, I guess, just me, because Julie's still on vacation in Japan, and the Mayday Network. I put together that little opening, and apparently I exported the wrong version of it because it kept saying media not found. I was like, that's not correct. So, guys, we're into the Sweet 16. So most everyone I know's bracket is garbage now. And so we're going to bring in two people who, honestly, we're on a group chat who talk about this shit more than anybody else I know in my whole life. One of which is my husband, whom you met last week, Joe Urso, and our friend Chris Copeland, who is so funny and so knowledgeable, both Vanderbilt graduates. So you're probably going to hear a whole lot of that. So I'm going to bring these guys in right now. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you, Michelle.
Gosh,
what an intro.
How's it going, guys?
Can't complain. Good.
Let's get it going.
So before we start looking at the brackets, how are your brackets?
Well, it's interesting. I don't have a traditional bracket. I'm part of an auction pool where there's a bunch of teams, and each team, has a bunch of, like people who are on a team, and you go and you pool your money together. You do an auction. You buy certain teams. So like 1 seeds are obviously valued very high, 16 seeds valued very low. We ended up with 6 teams, 3 of which made it to the Sweet 16. So we still have
big Illinois backer.
Yeah, we still have Illinois in there. We've got Arizona in there, and we have
you spend a little change then.
Texas. Oh yeah, Arizona was the most expensive team in the auction.
So. Wait, I have a question, you guys. Because I asked Joe about this the other day. Does Arizona still have the curtain of distraction?
It's Arizona State.
Oh, it's Arizona State. Okay. Yeah. Do they still have it? Do we know?
I think so.
I feel like it was a big thing for a while, but I don't know that it is now.
Now the new distraction are the swimsuits at Miami, Ohio. Did you see those guys, Cope?
No.
Oh my gosh, they're right behind the backboard. It's quite a distraction. It's like, hey, let me hit this front end of this 1-and-1. And here's a guy's hairy chest. actually, they're
they don't have hairy chest, Cope. They got their shaved chest.
Yeah, it's very pasty though.
Well, for anybody
at bright lights when you're trying to shoot a free throw.
For anybody at home who doesn't know what the curtain of distraction is, so when the visiting team would be at the free throw line, there would be a curtain up in the stands that the students ran, and like out came the curtain, and it would be like the craziest thing, like a chicken with dressed as Liberace or like whatever it is, like something to distract the person from shooting the basket, and it was, I think, pretty successful. So anyways, that's not what we're here. So Joe, how was your bracket?
My bracket had a small group of gentlemen from Nashville, Tennessee, going all the way. So that's unfortunate. But on the women's side, we've got we're doing really well because the Vanderbilt women are going to go all the way, and we're going to take down UConn. So
both of your programs.
That I didn't do that poorly. I think I actually had Iowa maybe beating Florida, setting it up so that Vanderbilt had an easier game in the next round, kind of thing. I was manifesting what would happen, and unfortunately, it didn't go through. But I'm excited about the round of 16. We got a hometown team, St. John's alive too.
Yeah,
so
that's who I'm rooting for
the Johnnies. What about you, Cope?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited about what we're going to see out of the Duke St. John's matchup. I mean, talk about classic coaches, right? This is like a throwback in time. And I'm a big Coach Cal fan.
Right.
There's probably a lot of people. Yeah, and I bet there's a lot of folks in Lexington right now who are saying, hey, might have been okay if we kept that guy.
Yeah, and his jacket game is fire as well, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, talk about this is swag, this is talent, this is coaching, this has it all.
I'm happy for Coach Cal. You know what? Screw Kentucky, and they think they're so good on their mighty high horse coming in, Big Blue Nation. You know what? You don't get rid of a man who won you a bunch of games every year, 25 wins, Sweet 16, top 4 seeds. Okay, every so often they may lose early, but he's always in the thick of things.
Yeah.
It was a real shame to I can't
just
stand
think
when
it's
schools do
crazy.
that.
I don't know why they would do that. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, why switch things up? And listen, whether or not you like the guy, you like his personality or not, is one thing, but that's not what the problem is here. I mean, unless there is a problem there and they're just not telling us. But this
Coach
is what
Cal
broke.
will win.
Yeah, right. I was like, do you want to win or do you want to not win? And
Coach Cal win everywhere he go. I mean, it's
everywhere.
It don't matter where he is. Memphis, UMass, Kentucky, now Arkansas. He win everywhere. It's just,
I mean, that guy. He loves his players. He coaches the hell out of them, and he gets them to the league. And yes, if you want to talk about his recent, slate in the NCAA tournament. Well, guess what? At least he was there, right? I mean, you see all these programs go up and down, with missing the tournament for
Syracuse.
years. I mean, they're there every year, and not only that, a lot of these teams that have lost, early in the tournament. I'm not making excuses for losing, but a lot of those were very freshman heavy. And what are we seeing now in the college landscape, right? You got these teams that have 4, 5, 6 year seniors. And trust me, a guy stepping on the court at 23, 24 years old, it doesn't matter if it's a Kentucky 5-star, 18-year-old. He's not scared of them. And so I'm not saying that that's an excuse for Coach Cal, but that is kind of what they've run into in tournaments at Kentucky in his last few years there.
Cal's got a player too. This kid Acuff.
Oh,
he is legit. He's fire as the. I mean, that guy is good.
He's got everything you want. He's got everything you want in a ball player, right? He's a true hooper. That guy.
He's good. So Michelle,
Jamie B9681 says they have St. John's beating Duke. Listen. We're always listen. This is the rule. You root against the team who's playing Duke. That is just the rule. That is the rule for all the reasons. Stephen Miller's alma mater. So,
all right. Well, we're going to run through kind of. Remember, Michelle, what we did last time, right? We had some discussion about best mascots and stuff like that. So we're going to have a little fun too here. We're not going to do mascots, but we're going to do some maybe a little best dressed coaches or something like that. So we're going to have some fun as we go through. We're going to go through the first 2 rounds of the men's and women's tournaments, what we liked, what we didn't, etc. Best games. Then we're going to go through some matchups coming up, and then we're going to have a little fun with the coaches and arenas. I think we're going to go through, and then we're going to do some Final Four picks for both the men's and women's.
All right. So listen, this, I don't know what this is, Joe, that you sent me, but it's got them all like filled out.
Yeah, to the Sweet 16.
Oh, okay, because I can't see it. I'm like, what is
exactly
this?
What you asked for?
I know. Sorry, it's so blurry. I can't see it. I can't see it.
That's
Anyways,
love, though. That's
it is love.
What that is.
That was your first mistake.
Yeah.
She asked for something and she got it. Joe, send me an updated bracket. Boom, sent, done.
Yeah, my segment producer, Joe Urso.
You're welcome.
Listen. So Joe, walk us just really quickly. Walk us through what we're looking at here.
So this is the women's bracket here. They have 2 regions, right? They have the Fort Worth region and they have Sacramento. We've got UConn leading the Fort Worth 1 region. We have in the Sacramento 2 would be UCLA is leading that region. Down in Fort Worth, you got Texas leading that region. And then in Sacramento, you've got South Carolina. So all the number 1 seeds in the women's tournament have moved on. And I would say that they continue to be the favorites in the women's tournament to go all the way. But some good matchups upcoming, and yeah, really looking forward to it. The women's tournament is really going to get started this weekend with some great matchups.
Fantastic. Everyone watches women's sports. So moving on, this is the men's bracket here.
I'll let Cope. You go through the men's bracket there.
All right. So on the men's side, we're looking at, I think, what is about to be a very, very exciting weekend ahead, because I think what you have here is a really good list of matchups here. I mean, like I said before, really excited to see St. John's matchup. Really excited to see Arkansas's matchup. Or those blast from the past, not blast from the past, but really, really, the longevity of two legendary coaches going at it against number one seeds, and can those guys, knock those one seeds off when they used to be the guys who were chased in the past, right? I think Duke is just so strong defensively. I mean, they're elite. There's no question about it. It
Hold on, Joe Flacco's on the phone.
Yeah, I feel gross. I feel gross having those words coming out of my mouth.
Is Joe Flacco elite?
Yeah, but I think out of those matchups, what I think is actually probably one of the most intriguing is the Texas Purdue matchup.
Is Texas a Cinderella to you, Cope?
I don't think that they're only from the standpoint that they were in the first four, so they've had a longer road to get here, right?
To me, they're not a Cinderella. It's University of Texas. I feel really, these small schools, the last 2 years have not been winning the games, and people are pointing to, right, the money now being pumped into the game, which is hurting the smaller schools because all the bigger schools are able to take their players now, whereas previously really good players that couldn't get in the lineup potentially at a larger school would go to a smaller school so they can get some play time. But now with the money being pumped in, do you think this is really, really the coming of the end of seeing a lot of Cinderellas? Because the last 2 years we haven't seen mid-major make it to the second weekend.
I do. I think the fact that you hit the nail on the head, the fact that players are no longer staying at a school 3-4 years for development. That's not the case anymore with the NIL. We're seeing massive free agency movement, because let's call it is what it is. And it's the free agency that we have out here, and so and until there are bona fide rules in place, right? Yeah. Like, this is, while these guys are getting paid, it is not run like a professional sport, right? Professional sport, we've got rules, we've got, budgets, you've got caps, you have all that type of things for the competitive balance.
You can't just move from one team to the other year after year.
Yeah, you don't have free agency every single year, which is exactly what we're dealing with here. And so until that is straight away, can you even blame your elite teams? I think I was looking yesterday. I don't think Kentucky has a recruit for this upcoming class.
No freshman recruit. It's just
I think for 2020. I think for 2027. I don't think they have any commits yet, because I don't even think that they're targeting that, because they know the way we're going to compete is we have to go and get the best talent, and that's just not going to be out of the high school ranks unless it's a lottery player.
Yeah,
right?
That's intriguing.
But I also want to say this, is that I think that there's a little bit of revisionist history on what we grew up with in terms of, the lower seeds. Like, I think that while it's very exciting, I think people have in their head that, like, March Madness was built on, a whole bunch of 13 seeds,
No.
And those were exciting when they happened, but it was still rare. But it was
rare, right? But it is funny that the last 2 years there's been no mid-major to make the second week, and it's happened 3 times in 25 years. 2 of them being the last, 2 years. Usually at least 1 or 2 happens,
Yeah.
But,
well, speaking of that's I wanted to talk about just one game in particular that I cared about. is Siena Duke in that first round with my man Jerry McNamara. If you frequent this network, you know that I've been on the Jerry McNamara train, and we have good news in that department. But that game was incredible. Duke obviously also has a new coach. Siena, small school in upstate Central New York. Jerry McNamara was the assistant coach at he played at Syracuse. He was assistant coach for about 15 years, moved up to Siena to be a head coach, and really took that program from like nothing to making the tournament for the first time in 16 years.
They were like 4-28 when he got there, and then
Incredible.
He turned them around last year to get them to 500, and then this year 23-8 or whatever the record
and listen,
was.
And
he did to him.
Yeah, and he did with that program what he could, right? I mean, first of all, he's a leader. Everybody loves the guy. He is all heart. He is a scrappy, blue-collar kid from Scranton, PA. Excuse me. And, he was given 7 scholarship players. That's it. And so he had to run all 5 of those starting lineup for the entire game. And he knew he had to. And I think that if they had even just a couple swap outs of the same caliber of damn it.
Michelle, we lost her for a second. She's back.
Back.
Am I back?
What Michelle's going after there is how the coach, if they just had a few more fresh players to throw in there, maybe it could have been different. So, but,
and so and the
Syracuse.
point. Well, and the point being that there's a 13 seed almost beat a number 1 seed
16
because or 16, right? They were up double digits at halftime. Great heart, great players, great coach, and Duke. Duke even said I was out coached for this game. And I just want to take a second because it's my show and I can. To talk about Syracuse. I mean, after all of us were like screaming into the megaphones, Syracuse is bringing. He's back. This is like truly the greatest news ever. I really do feel bad for Siena. I mean, I know their hearts must be broken, but
well, I mean, they see schools like Siena know when you hire Jerry McNamara that they're probably it's a good thing for Siena because he turned them around. You know what I mean? So
right, put him on the map. That's for sure. And so I just want to play this quick video that Syracuse put out today because it's great.
I didn't think I'd have a post-playing career that would be as equally rewarding.
It's good! Jerry Mack drops one on G-Town!
McNamara, 3-point roll!
Well, Jerry McNamara, we wouldn't have won 10 games this year. Not 10.
McNamara to Diemendorf, and they've got their first lead of the night. Right between the eyes, and just like this, is on fire.
Lock and load, a little nylon from Scranton, PA.
Look at this shot. He has unbelievable range and unbelievable confidence for a freshman. Too long, and Syracuse is your national champion.
I didn't think I'd have a post-playing career that would be as equally rewarding, and I have. And it's because of the guys that I've worked with.
Anyone who knows G-Mac knows he's the ultimate competitor. When the stage was the biggest and the lights were the brightest, we were always ready to perform.
He didn't have much space whatsoever. Quick check. A pressure bucket for Tyus Bizzle. The juice is loose, Jim Nance. He got it! He hit the shot! Waiters, he'll take it in and throw it down.
I've known Jerry for a long time. He outcoached me, he outcoached us. He's a tough competitor who's won at the highest level. That's who he's been his entire life that I've known him as a competitor.
So great.
Good luck, Michelle.
We love a rapid response hype video. And also he just posted this about a half hour ago.
Good luck.
Guess who's back, Orange Nation? I'm back. I'm home. Let's get to work. Can't wait.
Well, he had some nights in the garden, huh?
Oh yeah.
He had some nights in the garden.
Listen, I was at Syracuse the same time as him. I used to see him at the Kimmel Student Center. He used to, you know what he used to do? He had his like meal card and he would leave it with the cashier while he went to go sit down and have lunch, and he would pay for everybody's lunch and stuff, which was always really
Well, I
nice.
hope this works out for your
Yeah,
mental
me
health.
too.
Michelle.
Me too.
You know,
Yeah.
I do too. I always enjoyed watching him play. You know what I think is great for a coach like him, and hopefully this plays out for him. But I'm not saying that obviously there's been plenty of coaches who weren't like high profile, college play. They may have played in college, but not maybe they weren't famous players, and they've been very successful. But what I think helps someone like Jerry McNamara in this era is specifically this era is when you're delivering your message to your team, and they're looking back at a guy who was a dog.
Yeah.
Like he was a dog.
Yep. Scrappy.
And he won a national championship, and he did
Yep.
those things. Like I think that just commands a certain level of respect that is gonna pay really good dividends for him.
Yep. And listen, he is again, like I said, he is a working class kid from Scranton, PA, and everybody says this about him. He's the nicest guy, and he talked about building up the program, like you were talking about the NIL stuff, and like that's really hurt recruiting. And so we have a new athletic director, new coach, so hopefully they'll be able to build up the program with all these new rules or lack of rules. So Joe, tell me where we're going.
Let's start with we're gonna run through the men's side first, okay? So we're gonna start with what we thought was the best game, and for me, the best game, unfortunately, had a bad ending, but it was the best game, and that was the Vanderbilt-Nebraska game. Vanderbilt started off the game a little slow. I think Vandy was down 8-0, and then kept being down the whole first half. Nebraska was hitting a lot of threes, even contested looks, and just built up a lead. Vandy was able to come back in the second half, take the lead with about 8 minutes to go. But then Nebraska switched to the zone defense with about 3 minutes left, and Vandy couldn't do anything. And it ended on that last second heave from Tana that went in and out. Cope, where was your heart on that play?
It's funny. As a Vandy fan, it sucked, right? But I was just so I was so into the Nebraska story. Admittedly, like obviously, I want Vanderbilt to do well and to win a lot. Where my heart lives in Tallahassee, though. So it's it's always even though I got love for Vandy, that my heart's down in Tallahassee. But what you couldn't replace, I think, was that atmosphere. I mean,
it was amazing.
This game was played in Oklahoma City. I don't know how many miles away from
6-hour drive,
Lincoln, Nebraska that is, but everybody from their fan base seemed to be there because that atmosphere was like a Oklahoma City Thunder playoff atmosphere, and it was felt on every bucket. It was felt on every bucket.
Great atmosphere.
I hate it for those Vandy guys. I hate it for Tanner. Right? Like I mean, he was doing everything in his power.
Lights out.
He was doing everything to keep Vandy, alive there at the end. So
Duke couldn't hit a shot for us all night long. Duke hit nothing. We couldn't hit a freaking free throw all night.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
Yeah. But you know what, Joe? We've been there, right? We've been in the Sweet 16. It's been 50 years for Nebraska?
They've never won a game in
the
tournament until this year.
So I mean,
kudos to them and Fred Hoiberg, the mayor.
Yeah.
I mean, what a coach he is.
If somebody's going to beat you, you want a story like that, right?
Exactly. I mean, there's plenty of teams we've lost to over the years where I actually probably can't count any where I would feel like this after a loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, I'm okay with them moving on.
Yep.
Let's get to some other moments from the first
whoa,
week.
Whoa.
No, Cope's best game.
You forgot my best game.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I said earlier, my heart lives in Tallahassee. So what that also means is that I can't stand those folks in Gainesville.
Oh.
Okay? And that game between Iowa and Florida was a great game. I think Florida came out a little disinterested.
Yeah.
And what's crazy about it is I mean, they're out of the tournament now, so they have no argument for the title, but they're literally one of the best teams in the country. Like, not only were they 1 seed, I mean, they looked dominant for a stretch of the season. You know, after I'm drawing a blank on the point guard's name, but after he kind of got settled in after the early season, I mean, they had a dominant stretch. They seemed a little disinterested. Iowa was just all heart. They were gutsy. They were tough. And really, those, you know, I come back to, you know, the coach Golden. I mean, some of those coaching decisions there at the end, Joe, you know, Michelle, like,
how do you not get a shot off?
Well, let's back it up. Let's back it up to the play. Let's back it up to the play before, right? So, you know, they take the lead, and then why are you pressing
Exactly?
And then why are you pressing in 8 seconds and getting behind the break man? And you know, and
I was like, what the hell are they doing? I mean, you might want to put your guys up on the floor just to make them walk it all the way down, but to press like they did, it was like they were going for a steal. It was stupid.
I could not believe that. I mean, and then, like, the only thing you can't do when you're up too late is
wide open three.
Let the easiest three on the court, the shortest three in the corner. You know,
that was a great play by Iowa to come down, and great recognition. Really, I mean, well done for them.
And then just a, you know, terrific play setup for the final play to just drive down the court and not get a shot off. That was just beautiful from my vantage point. So good, good for Iowa, good for everybody who likes corn, because this next round, hated cornfield.
Oh, shit.
Iowa and Nebraska.
Yeah. So good for those groups.
Good for everyone.
All right, let's get into some other moments we loved. I loved seeing the Miami, Ohio get that win. I was really, really happy that they were put into the tournament instead of some school like Auburn went like 17-16. Who cares? You lost half your games. This team went 31-1. They deserved a chance to be there, and I'm super glad that they won a game. Cope, any thoughts on them?
Yeah, I was angry that they got the play-in game.
Yes,
I'm very glad that they won it.
Yes,
but you know, I just think that winning's hard, right? We're fortunate enough to have been very close with people as part of the Vanderbilt basketball program. We were there. One of our closest friends has been in collegiate athletic coaching out, you know, since college, and just knowing those conversations, knowing a lot of coaches in the field, like, it's hard. It's one of the hardest things to do, especially in this era with you know, these athletes and all the distractions. You know, they lost one time coming into the tournament. At the D1 level, I'm sorry, like they deserved a better spot. I'm glad that they did win their way into the main bracket, though.
I agree. Michelle, you agree too, right?
Yeah.
Who needs to see Auburn at 17-16? Get the hell
Bruce
out
Pearl
of here.
does.
Yeah, get the hell out of here, Bruce Pearl. Stop it.
All right,
what's our next moment there, Michelle?
Well, Cope, what was your favorite? Wait, what was that? Oh, sorry, there's not a match for that, right, Joe? That was just a shout out.
Yeah, no, I got another moment here, which was the
I didn't know
Kentucky
that.
Santa Clara game. I just want to give a shout out to 3 back-to-back shots that 7 seconds left, a go-ahead bucket. Then with 3 seconds left, another go-ahead bucket, and then they come back down the other end and hit a last-second shot. It was a really great atmosphere, and that's what March is all about, these 2 shots.
Great. Moving on. What is this?
This goes back to our point about Siena. Look at that.
That's
0 substitutions.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's
crazy.
Just one of the indelible moments we'll see for a long time is
I think-
0 subs.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think the final was 17-0. Yeah.
You've seen games where like I'm pretty sure in the BYU Texas game, I'm pretty sure AJ DeBonsa, I'm pretty sure he played every single minute of the game. So you've seen it where there's a player or two who doesn't come out. I know Caitlin Clark's had a few games where she's played, especially at the college level, where she played the entire game. But the entire 5 is that's insanity.
It's pretty crazy. I know. So that was, and I remember calling into the other room like, Shell, they're up. They're up. Turn it on.
Yeah.
Turn it
I come
on.
in for the end. I'm like, there's so much before. I'll come in for the second half.
So now, looking forward, what's our best game? What, Cope, for you, what's the best game that you're looking forward to? The best matchup in the Sweet 16?
The best Sweet 16 matchup on the men's side. Let's see. Gosh, you know what? Illinois-Houston looks tough. That looks
That's
tough.
my game too.
Illinois has some tough dudes. They're gritty. They can play. Their bigs can play. They're not just big, right? And then Houston,
I love Brad Underwood, the coach. He's a high flyer up and down the floor, and against Kelvin Sampson with one of the top defenses, it's going to be a great matchup. Kelvin Sampson coach up that defense, and the Ken Palm, they're one of the top 5 Ds. And then, of course, Illinois and Brad Underwood up and down the floor. I think, Michelle, we have one graphic if you want to put it up. Illinois, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cope, you like the way Kelvin Sampson coaches as well. I mean, he's a really good guy of the NCAA too.
Yeah, I mean he wins. He wins. I mean he's no matter what, his teams are going to compete. They're going to play D. They're going to play D, and you've got to have that in this tournament. You've got to have somebody. Your team's got to be ready to play every inch of the court. Be disruptive, because you're going to have teams that get hot. I mean, that's what we see in this tournament. That's why it's madness. You're going to come across teams that get hot, and they're very good at making it very challenging.
And one point about this game, Cope, it's in Houston.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So there's going to be a ton of Houston fans at this game. It might rival the Nebraska Vandy game with the amount of fans that Houston will have there. The Toyota Center, maybe. I think they're playing where the Rockets play.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a great atmosphere. Let's move on to the best player. Who's the best player left? For me, it's St. John's Zuby. That is a man. He is Big East Player of the Year. Led St. John's to a back-to-back Big East championships. He is a phenomenal talent and should be playing in the NBA next year. Cope, who do you like as the best player?
I don't know if he's necessarily the best player, but he's kind of my favorite player left in is Jaden Bradley from Arizona. It also helps that I really need Arizona in my bracket. But gosh, the other, in their game in the round of 16, I mean, that got really dicey against Utah State. Utah State battled. I think Arizona had a little bit of, that Florida lull in them that you saw in the Florida game. But Jaden Bradley was tough. I mean, he made some tough buckets at the end. He almost kind of put them on his shoulders in the game. So I like a player like him. Very gritty. He's got great skill.
I'm a Tommy Lloyd guy. I like him. I think he's a great coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward again. Like I was saying earlier. You've got Patino. You've got Calipari in the 4 seed chasing the 1 seed. So it's an interesting dynamic than what we're used to.
And you got your boy on Arizona against Acuff.
Yeah, I mean that's a matchup I'm dying to see. Acuff is just a delight to watch on the basketball court. And like I said before, he's got everything you want in a ball player. So there's just so much talent this year. And I think going back to the NIL conversation, it has concentrated towards the high majors, and so while you don't have that mid-major magic as much, boy, you're getting quality matchup. This is fun. This is really fun. I mean, these matchups are fun.
I'm really looking forward to that matchup as well. We got some great matchups all around. We're gonna switch it up now. We've talked about a lot of the games. We're gonna talk about some fun things here for the Sweet 16 coming up. What's our best favorite arena upcoming? Mine. I love the Iowa Hawkeyes floor. I mean, just look at the parquet floor there. Isn't it? I mean, I just love it. I just wanted to give it a shout out to the Iowa floor. I know Cameron Indoor Stadium. Everyone, that's probably the most iconic building of the teams remaining. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Iowa here and Braden Smith. I think Braden Smith, right, all-time NCAA assist leader as well. So just wanted to give a shout out to the Corn. Cope.
So this is not my answer, but I am going to start on Cameron Indoor because I went there for a Georgetown Duke game back when JT3 was coaching Georgetown, and both teams were really good. And you walk into Cameron Indoor, and you're like, really?
Right.
And then the game starts after all the students go, and it shakes your brain how loud it is in there. But there's another arena in the South, in the state of Tennessee, in Nashville, the home of the Vanderbilt Commodores.
We're gonna get to Vanderbilt in the women's.
Designed as a opera house originally. That's my spot.
And by the way, if you turn to camera, you got one of the. You said you have Cameron Indoor tent for you.
Yeah. My kids are camping out for tickets. Got one of those Duke UNC tents.
All right, and then we have best dressed coach, and this one's got to go to our boy.
I mean, obviously.
You can't beat Rick Pitino on the sidelines, and his reaction after the game winner. Did you see that, Cope? Just flatline.
Nothing. It reminded me of Larry Bird when Reggie Miller hit that shot against the Bulls. Just completely stoic.
He's like Neil Armstrong. He's like Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. He's like, okay, guys, we're here.
He's like, I've been here before.
It was just nothing, right? Just nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, look at him. He's the best dressed coach. You can't beat that white suit at MSG.
It's classy. It's classy.
All right. And we'll end the men's point here on our final four picks. So I'll go first. I had Vanderbilt, but obviously not anymore. So of the teams left, I went to Michigan. So I'm rooting for Michigan. So let's go Big Blue. Big Blue is I shouldn't even say
I was like,
that.
Big Blue?
Big Blue is Kentucky.
Who's Big Blue?
Go Blue. Hail to the victors. So let's go Michigan. I'm really looking forward to Yaxel Luxembourg lead us to a title. And so that's my pick against Arizona probably in the final game. And I hope you know what, and I think St. John's can take down Duke. So I got St. John's going all the way to the Final Four as well.
Yeah.
Cope, what about you?
Okay, so I have UConn coming out of that side. I got UConn, taking down Pitino. I'm saying Pitino because I just can't. I just can't with Duke. But yeah, I've got Arizona, UConn. I've got Illinois beating Houston and then taking down the winner of the Iowa-Nebraska game, making it to the Final Four. And then I've got Michigan. That's when I was a kid, I was a big Fab Five fan. I'm eager to finally see them. I know that they won it in 89. Is that right, Joe? They won it in 89, a few years before the Fab Five. But I remember my heart being broken as a kid. So I'd love to see them get there and win. So I have Michigan, I have Michigan over Arizona to get to the final, and then I have Michigan over Illinois, all Big Ten final.
Fantastic.
I
Michelle, you got a choice? You got a pick?
Well, yeah, I mean, I St. John's is who I'm rooting for all the way to the end. And, you know, I just want to say, I know it sounds like the only thing I care about is Syracuse, and that's because that's because it's
true.
Because it's true. You know, I love to see the Big East teams, you know, doing so well because I have such a soft spot for the Big East, and you know, my team that I've been rooting for and going to games since I was 6 years old. Leaving the Big East just seems like, you know, criminal at this point. You know, they left and joined the ACC like for football. Like who has that helped? Who has that helped?
Yeah.
Absolutely no one.
That was a
Crap at
really
that
bad
too.
decision. Boston College,
Michelle,
same thing.
Michelle, as a big FSU fan, it hasn't helped the ACC either. So
horrible, so bad. I'm like, let's go back to the Big East. Let's go back to the Big East. Rebuild. It'll, and if anybody at home or is watching this after the fact has not seen 30 for 30, the Requiem for the Big East, go watch it immediately. It's so good. Okay, moving on.
Let's do it.
All right, so that's it for the men's. We're gonna now move on to the women's. So let's first of all, so excited. We've got some great teams. I mean, UConn 35-0, South Carolina, another powerhouse program. It's going to be a really fun weekend of women's hoops all the way to the Final Four. Best game for me, it was the Minnesota game. Look at this photo, and I think I actually have a clip of this, Michelle. The next one on the list, I got a clip. If you want to play the clip of the last shot here.
Yep.
This was a really cool game winner, and the crowd going nuts. They played at home, so what a great game this was. Look at that! What a shot! Falling down, really great game. 63-63. Cope, what was your favorite game of the women's side?
You know, I hate to pour this on to the Iowa Hawkeyes. I gave them a lot of love on the men's side. On the women's side, you know, unfortunately, they fell to UVA in double overtime. And Iowa had a shot to win it, and regulation had a shot to win it in first overtime. Ultimately, UVA prevailed in the end, and you know, Dawn Staley's alma mater, you know, pulled it off against Iowa. And what's remarkable about that, they were coming from the first four to the Sweet 16, which is really cool. I mean, and this is the women's side versus the men's side, where I mean, it's so chalk heavy over here. Yeah. So for a 10 seed to do that, coming out of the play-in game, to go into Iowa's arena and do that, you know, I have a soft spot in my heart. Y'all know I love me some Caitlin Clark. So tough loss for Iowa. Hannah Stolke, I love her game for Iowa. So I'm sad to see them lose, but that was a great game.
Let's get into some of our some shining moments that came out of the women's weekend. First one is the Maryland coach Brenda Fries having a heated conversation with one of her top players. But at first, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, what is going on here?" But when the player and coach talked about it, it was Cope, you talk about it better than I do. Go ahead.
Well, it's great. I mean, when you read her lips, like when she's in her face, she's like, I believe in you, but you've got to want this moment. I mean, that's what you ask for. Those are things that are written in movies, right? And you, like, when you see that, that's, you know, those types of coaches are like, you know, they love their players. That coach is, all she is doing is coaching her player hard. And I know that player respects that and appreciates that from that coach. So I thought that was an awesome moment. You know, we're in an era and a time where sometimes it's, you know, it's hard for coaches to coach hard. And she wasn't cussing and I mean, she was very active.
Brian Kelly.
She was very active, but she was getting her focus, resetting her. And the girl came in the next time that she came in the game and made several key buckets. So, I thought that was awesome.
This wasn't a Brian Kelly situation, Cope.
No, not this wasn't just ripping into you. All red in the face.
You could kind of tell. I mean, I don't know. I could tell that it wasn't negative. I don't know. The first time I saw it, I was like, this doesn't, I mean, it looks intense for sure.
Yeah.
But I think we have also a tendency, yes, we want to be protective of the players. They're still kids, Yeah. But we have also a tendency to infantilize like some of these players. Like, I feel like if she didn't want to be coached like that, she wouldn't be there. I don't know. Like maybe I'm, being insensitive about it, but it turned out it was all positive anyways. And I have a clip here from Abby Wambach on her podcast. She talked about this. I like to play it.
Coaches is yelling in the face of the best player on the Maryland team. And she says, I believe in you. I have full body chills right now. She's positively coaching her up.
Coach understands I'm a competitor at heart, and I've told her this before, and I'll keep on telling her this until forever. I love to be coached hard, and that's what she does with me every single day. And really what that was a regroup moment for myself and her telling me she believed in me, because sometimes that's really all you need to hear.
But the truth is, for me, this is why good coaching and one-on-one meetings and understanding your players and what motivates them is so important. Because this player said to that coach, I love to be coached hard. Yeah. And I was that kind of player too, right? Yeah. I loved tough coaching because that's the kind of motivation I needed. And to be open about that, to be conscious about that, to not feel belittled and to feel inspired and motivated. I would just say when a male coach is coaching a male player and the male coach is in the face of the male player, we don't have this second thought of like, is that okay? You're like, oh, that coach is on that player. This is acceptable. And so I just want to say, if you were a person that were like, wait a second, women are not supposed to be yelled at, I think we need to do a little bit of digging inside of our own selves for a little bit of misogyny going on inside of us.
I just want to say, Brian, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's kind of the point that I was making is like, why are we treating women as though we're like little children and we're so delicate that we can't take things? So I understand the impulse to want to protect, but also she can take it.
That's why I brought up Brian Kelly, because I do not like the way that he treats his players, and the way he yells at his players after any mistake. It's belittle the way he does it. It's belittling and it's blameworthy. And right?
It's the opposite of constructive.
Correct.
Everything Brenda Freese did right there was constructive. She knew her player. She knew what she needed to do to get locked in, and she did it. And she coached hard. And I love that.
Yep.
I mean, I love everything about that. And I think you're right, Michelle. I mean, like if anybody, doesn't, if there's anybody out there who's tough and doesn't, you need kid gloves, it's
right. Right.
There's there's plenty of softness out there that
and just to be a woman, quite frankly, to navigate this world in the first place, you already have to be tougher than most men. So I'll just say that.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean?
It's hard for white men like me. So.
All right.
So tough for Joe out here.
So tough.
I have to overcome so much adversity.
Yes.
Next shining moment, Madison Booker, 40 points, raining down. So, congrats to her on a big win. I just love this picture too. What a shining moment. I mean, that is full extension layup. So just wanted to shout out a big 40-point performance from Madison Booker down in Austin.
There's a whole lot of get you some in that picture.
Yeah,
you don't really say that anymore, Joe.
What?
Come get some. That used to be your thing. I don't hear you say that anymore.
There's a lot of come get some in this, and I love it.
Come get some.
I do that in sports that I'm not good at, or games that I'm not good at, where I do well, right? Randomly, like in darts. Like I suck at darts, but if I hit a dart shot, it's come get some because I'm not that good at darts, right? So, Cope knows that from Mario Kart because he wasn't that good at Mario Kart. So if he ever did anything good against me in Mario Kart, he was allowed to talk trash, but I wasn't allowed to talk trash because I kicked his ass every time.
Don't tell my family that, because I destroy everybody in this household. And I take no mercy on my daughter when we play.
Yeah,
It's the only way you gotta learn. You gotta step up to competition.
To all our viewers, Cope and I were roommates at Vanderbilt, and we'd be playing Mario Kart in our underwear next to each other.
That's a sight. That's a sight.
No denial from my. Hey, I don't have a picture of it, but another shining moment is got to give a shout out to Flau'jae Johnson. It was her last home game at LSU. I love her. I've always drawn to the multi-talented, very multi-talented, but she's signed to Jay-Z's Rock Nation, and she's one of the best players in the country and led LSU to championship, a few years ago. So big shout out to her.
But love her.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other thing.
Hate Kim Mulkey, but love the player. Next shining moment is, and sorry, Michelle, avert your eyes, please. Put your head down.
This is so bad. 31-0 run is diabolical. What?
It's unfair.
Is that? It's so bad.
Cope, were you watching this? Michelle and I were watching this. It was like they were up 40, right? 40-8 or whatever, and then in like 3 consecutive possessions, it was like watching a college team play a freshman team in high school.
I mean,
they would come up, take the ball from them. It was like a father playing his 8-year-old son.
No, it was like my nephew playing LeBron James. Like, what is happening? This is so bad.
I can tell you what was happening. AZ Fudd was happening. Sarah Strong was happening.
Every 3 she was throwing up, it was a sight to behold. Syracuse would bring the ball up, UConn would take it away from them, run down the floor, hit a 3. So Syracuse bring the ball up, have it taken from them. UConn run down the floor, hit a 3. It was incredible to watch.
It's insane that they don't have Paige Beckers anymore, and they look arguably more dominant. I mean,
better than last year.
They're better. I mean, in looking at the bracket, it was tough for me to figure out a way that they're not cutting down the nets.
And you know what? Props to Gino Auriemma. I mean, he had a huge run, right, where they won like 4 championships in 5 years. Then they hit a little lull over the past 10 years. They weren't bad, but South Carolina, LSU, Notre Dame all won titles, right? And UConn had a little bit of a lull, and now right back up to the top. So like props to Gino and staff, even without Shea Ralph, who we'll get to soon.
Well,
right?
really quick on the Syracuse note before we move on. What did you guys think about the I have a clip if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me.
I agree with her, Cope.
The coach had some words.
I asked God to touch my heart and help me speak kindly about this opportunity, but also have a responsibility. And when I tell my players to woman up, I think I have to do the same thing. And for us to be coming from a 12 and 16, 18, whatever season last year, okay, let's judge me on this season. For us to do what we've done, to continuously have to come to UConn and every single school that I go to, from Buffalo to is unfair to the young people. I don't know what it is. Somebody said, is there something that they might have against me? If that's the case, then we need to communicate about that. But for us to be what we've done in our body of work, to have to come and play that best team in the country. I mean, Gino has this thing going, and he is. I love what he's done, but I thought deserved a little more respect after being in this business for 37 years, and to have to come and be in this particular bracket every freaking year is unacceptable. It's wrong. It's somebody. And if you're on the committee and you've been around for more than a year or two or 5 to 10 or 15 years, you understand what that looks like. I've been on those committees to see how it's done, how you can put people on different lines, put us on get a 10 line, get whatever. But for us to continue to come to Connecticut year after year after year is, to me, it's a personal attack, because I just think that we are way better than what we perform today. But I think what you're going to notice that everybody that come through, Gino, and UConn is going to get the raft of what they can bring. I just know this team right here had a strong chance of getting beyond this particular level.
I mean, what do you guys think?
I think she's got a point. I mean, you can't send the same teams every year to UConn just because you're within driving distance. The women deserve a little bit better than going to, and you have to play at stores every year because they host, right?
Oh my God, it's like double trouble. Bad.
I actually agree with her. It's not right that. Go ahead.
If Princeton if Princeton can go play, in UCLA's bracket, Syracuse could have, right? So you're gonna put Syracuse against UConn again. Or that coach again against UConn, and I think she has a very valid point. I mean, it can't be the same thing every single time.
Yeah.
Especially with unique advantages, right? Like playing UConn in stores, it's impossible to play them in the park down the street. It's absolutely impossible playing in the stores,
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's too much sour grapes. I actually think she's got a little bit of a point. So
yeah,
I'm with her, and she makes a good point. All right, let's move on to the best matchup in the women's field. I chose here the Michigan-Louisville matchup. It's just two top 10 teams in the Bart Torvik ratings. So it's statistically the best remaining matchup of the last 8 games here going. So we got a Michigan and Louisville 2 versus 3 seed, 2 top programs going at it. So of course we all know who I'm with, right? And so go blue. Cope, you got any love for any matchups here?
I'm going back to your favorite coach, Kim Mulkey, playing Duke in the 2-3 game. I think that's a great matchup.
Carol Lawson.
Yeah. So battle some really great coaches. Whether we like Kim Mulkey or not, you have to hand it to her in terms of
I know
her ability to build programs.
Great coach.
She was also a baller back in the day. You ever seen her Louisiana Tech videos? I mean, she could hoop.
Don't get nothing wrong. She a phenomenal coach. She wins, unfortunately.
I'm looking forward to that matchup. I mean, I think that the winner of that game has a really good shot of making it interesting against UCLA, who I think will come out the other side on that.
All right, and I saw one of the comments. We're going to get to that right now. Best player remaining, our girl, Cope, Michaela Blakes. Averages 30 points a game in SEC play, averaging 28 a game, breaking all Vanderbilt records. What a baller she is. Just love her ability to drive to the hoop. Obviously, you got some great players up in stores with Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd. But we got to give love to our girl down in Nashville.
I'm going to agree with you here, because if I don't, I'm going up to stores where it's unfair. I mean, all of this to me doesn't really matter who's the best here currently available to play, because the The best, in my opinion, who is not available to play is Juju. So Juju, get healthy. We need you back. We need you, Juju.
USC, right?
Yeah.
One of the best players, and she's got a torn ACL or something.
Yeah, she tore it in this tournament last year.
Okay.
Wow.
So she's about a year, out from that.
All right.
injury.
So next year she's gonna be back playing again at USC.
Yeah.
All right. Back.
I think Caitlin and Paige are like what Larry Bird and Magic did to the NBA in terms of that. They were that ignition, that initial kind of like really big boost to the product, and then that dude 23 came, and it just right. I think when Juju gets to WNBA, it's going to be like that. I think that she's that kind of special. Hopefully she's back to form. Yeah, hopefully she's back to form, but she's special. That's for sure.
All right, and this is where best gymnasium of the teams remaining, and this is where we get into our memorial. I mean, Cope. Is this not the best gym in the country by far? It's not even close.
And this is not even like Homerism, right? Like this is not like we've lived it. We've lived it. We've taken down. We've been there, taking down multiple number ones. We've seen number one Florida with Joakim Noah and Corey Brewer and all of those guys. We took them down there. We also took number one Tennessee down there when we were there.
Not storming the floor.
And the thing, and I think that the thing people don't get, I mentioned this earlier, but I think it was originally designed as like an opera house. So the volume in there is
crazy,
intimidating to the opposing team. Plus, we put the benches on the end, so they can't, they really can only coach one half of the court, the opposing team, and they're not used to it. So this is the place to be when you're talking about best courts in the country.
Well, I know you guys are obviously biased, but I actually have heard this from a lot of people that are not you guys, that that it's very cold because it goes down and then up, right?
The court is raised. The seats are below the court.
I think that's so cool. Really cool.
It's an amazing atmosphere. All right, let's go to our best dressed coach, and of course, Dawn Staley. I mean, she has the best outfits, always on the sideline. You cannot go wrong with Dawn Staley, and I'm obviously one of the best coaches in the country.
You've got no argument for me on this one. I'm not going to bring Kim Mulkey back up.
Kim Mulkey got a dress game though. Hers
is a little bit more outlandish. She's like Sly and the Family Stone looking like out there. But I'm no argument from me on this one. Dawn Staley always peak fashion and an elite coach.
Mm-hmm. All right, now let's get to our. I know we're coming up on the hour here, Michelle. Let's get to our final four picks for the women's. All right, I have our beloved Vanderbilt going all the way, and I have us taken down. I believe UCLA in the finals. Michaela Blakes is gonna lead us to one of the best upsets in NCAA history, taking down UConn in the Elite Eight. Oh, I'm so looking forward to that game if we can get there. And man, I'm just so excited and pumped for Shea Ralph and Candace Story-Lee at Vanderbilt. And what a turnaround that Candace Story-Lee has done at all Vanderbilt programs. So looking forward to that. And of course, as a Michigan alum here, I'm rooting for our ladies at the University of Michigan, and hopefully we can get to the Final Four as well. Cope, who do you like on the women's side?
So there's what I want, and there's what I think's going to happen.
Ain't that always the case?
I want what you said, and I do think Vanderbilt is going to be a tough out, and I do have them advancing past the Sweet 16 to face UConn. Yeah. This is the most boring I am on this show tonight. Is I am all chalk. in the Final Four. So I've got UConn, South Carolina, UCLA, Texas, and I've got Dawn Staley getting revenge for last year's final in the Final Four.
Oh wow, you got UConn going down to South Carolina.
I got Dawn Staley on a mission, which is a Dawn Staley you don't want to face. And I think that little bit of extra magic that Paige Beckers brings is not going to be present, and that's what's going to lift South Carolina over the top. And then I have Dawn Staley regaining the top of the mountain in the finals over UCLA, who's going to beat Texas in the Final Four.
Shelly, what do you got?
I don't have anything because honestly, I don't for the men's, I don't for the women's. I just like to watch and hope that Duke loses, and that's just kind of that's just the rule.
Except this year in the women, we want Duke to beat LSU, right? I mean, I'm rooting for Duke over LSU. Yes,
I don't know. I don't know what that's about.
It's fine.
Michelle's rooting for Flau'jae Johnson.
We're rooting against Kim Mulkey. It's fine.
I don't know anything about that. But I do want to give some of our Mayday fam here in the comments. Thank you all so much for being here. I know this is not usually all the programming we have here, but we're trying to switch it up, have more sports and culture and entertainment. And that's, because that's what brings us all together. So we've got Krista Meyer says I got Minnesota, Michigan, Iowa, and UConn. Jamie B here says if Vandy beats Notre Dame, I will be rooting for Vandy. And then Krista said that also I have UConn versus Minnesota, and Minnesota winning it all.
Go Gophers.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Man, that'd be a heck of a run if that's what happens.
Off of that last second shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Well, Michelle, thank you for having me again and Cope.
No, this is great, guys. I love this. I love this. And thanks for bringing your stats and also, the color commentary, because, we, again, like here on this network, we do a lot of like serious news and punditry here. And this is a really welcome reprieve from, everything we're dealing with right now. So I just want to say thank you to both of you for being here. Thank you for everybody who's here in the chat. Thank you to everyone who's watching after the fact. And if you have not already, please like and subscribe to the Mayday Network. Please join us over here. It helps us tremendously. If you, interact with us, it helps the algorithm and helps more people see what we're doing over here. So any last words, guys?
Who you with?
VU.
Who you with? VU.
Go Doors.
Let's go. Go Doors. Michaela Blakes. Come on. Thank you, Shelly.
Bye. Jamie says, Michelle.
Bye,
Joe.
Joe.
Thank you.
Michelle.
Later.
Bye. Bye, guys.